And the grapevine locker room.
Oh my goodness, Anthony Joshua. Okay. Please send us messages on WhatsApp 0809444091 as we get into the sports stories. You can also send it on Twitter.
At Smooth 981 FM, please use the hashtag LockerRoom981. You can send for WhatsApp messages to 0809 4440981. Please save that number. That's our WhatsApp number.
Yes, and we're streaming live on YouTube. Just type Smooth 981 FM Lagos in the search box. You find us there. Hit the subscribe button so you can catch up whenever we come on live. Now, despite the Warriors losing 3 of their 6 best players to injury, despite the Raptors leading by 14 midway through the second quarter at home, and despite Kawhi Leonard going for 34 points and 14 rebounds in 39 minutes, Golden State managed to emerge with a 109-104 victory Sunday night evening, the best of 7 series at a game apiece. In a statement quoted to Raptors coach Nick Nurse, he said, "We're in the same boat they kind of were in coming here. We got to go out there and get one. That's all we've got to do is get one, and we can do that."
Yes, it's something they can do, but will they? I don't think so. They started this game, and with all the drama that was on. I mean, after winning game 1, we're the North, we're the next champions, jumping and hopping on one leg. I'm just like, chill. The series just literally started. Calm down. But no, and I understand why it's easy to get carried away and get excited. And so game 2, they did play very well. I mean, at halftime they were leading by 4 points. It looked like they were at least keeping to script. Of course, Drake again courtside, making noise and chanting. Barack Obama was somewhere in the building, just enjoying himself. It was a good night. And then the second half started, and Golden State Warriors went on an 18-0 run. Like, there was in that time that they scored 18 points, Raptors had 0 points and 5 turnovers. It was bad. So when you start your third quarter like that, letting the champions get back into the game, it just kills off every momentum you try to build. And for each time they tried to fight, the Raptors were winning. Yes, the Golden State Warriors were winning. And so the Warriors, yes, picked up an injury. I think Klay Thompson picked up an injury during the game, and they already have Kevin Durant out. But you're talking of the Golden State Warriors, like, they have 2 teams. They're almost like the U.S. national team. Either one of them will beat you. And so it's hard to say, you can say, yes, they lost 3 of their 6 major players. As long as they don't lose Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant at the same time, then the Golden State Warriors are beating you. Take it to the bank. And so the Golden State Warriors have won this one, and they know that they have to go to Oakland and defend their home court, which is what they're going to try to do. Of course, the Raptors is not going to make it any easy for them. They're going to put them under pressure. But for me, letting Golden State Warriors sneak in this one game, it's putting you on a limp, if you ask me.
All right, let's move on to women in sports. Super Falcons, Hamas Slovenian champions, wrap up impressive World Cup build-up. So in the final test game yesterday, before the June 8th deadline against 1995 champions Norway, who will be without 2018 Ballon d'Or winner Ada Hegerberg, the Falcons eased to a comfortable 3-0 win over 6 times of Slovenian champions in Beltinci. A first half brace from informed striker Asisat Oshola saw Thomas Denenby's side take a 2-0 lead before the break. So a minute into additional time, substitute Uchenna Kanu wrapped it up with the side's third goal and a clean sheet, as the win brings Nigeria's record in the World Cup preparation to 6 wins, 4 losses.
Yeah, I think it was a comfortable preparation. They were supposed to play the Slovenian national team. Then those plans were cancelled maybe a few days before, 2 days before the actual game. And then they said they should play the Slovenian champions that contain 9 members of the national team. So we may not get the full team, but let's get half or let's get something. However, would I say this was the best competition for them? No, but it was good training. It was a good build up to the game. You don't even want to fight. You don't even want to play a very tough game before you start work or before you start picking up injuries and the rest. But it was a comfortable stroll in the park. And the second half, they really took it easy. The good news for me, I keep celebrating. At the Heidelberg, I'm very happy for the fight you are doing. You are pushing for equality in women's football, and
Fantastic.
I'm happy that you're pushing for that fight. I'm also happy you're not showing up because the girl is a goal scorer. In fact, she's not just a goal scorer, she's a bowler. So when I think of the Norwegian team without Ada, I'm like, good news. We have a chance now. So yes.
Christina Ada, give her Igbo name.
Ada.
Her name is Ada.
Ada.
No?
I know it's Ada. I heard you say Ada.
Kala
I said
Ada.
Ada.
You like to claim
Just imagine
Clementine.
Our sisters now coming and saying, no, please, I'm sorry, don't call me Ada. I'm Ada.
Ada.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I did what they do to us all the time. When
Yeah,
they say
yeah.
Nigerian
Names,
they
they-
anglicize it. So
They
yeah.
tend to struggle, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good preparation so far, and hopefully it will be a good outing
Yeah.
at the World Cup in France.
All right. So I don't know whether to call him Antonio Joshua now or Anthony, but it's fine. Well, let's call him Femi. Okay.
Somebody no, oh, so that's who Femi is.
Yeah,
Yes.
his name is Femi.
What's his name? Tosin Baba said, Tega, don't abuse Femi. Oh. Yeah,
It's a temporary setback, I hear. Okay, let's talk about this now. Anthony Joshua vowed to get the belts back. Not one, not two, 3 belts. That's talking about the IBF, WBA, and WBA. He said this after calling his sensational heavyweight world title defeat by Andy Ruiz Jr. a minor setback. He said, "It's a test of character. I'll see what is next and move on." Joshua, who lost the 3 belts, the 3 titles, like I mentioned earlier, the IBF, the WBA, and WBO world titles, he was asked about potential fights with WBC world champion Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, and here's his reply. "I still want to compete with those men, but a rematch with Andy Ruiz Jr. is where we are at," he said. "I'm still a champ, and I will rectify it to get the belts back."
Oh, it's now that you're focusing on the focus. See your eye.
Okay, so this is the time, Tega, feel free to gloat.
No,
Last
no,
Friday,
I'm
you
not-
said so, Tega.
I'm not gloating. I'm collecting tithes. This is my church. I've opened it. I prophesied, and it happened.
You
So
said it.
we are collecting
He
tithes
said
and
he was,
offering.
and I'll quote you, he said instead of him to focus on his immediate match,
He's looking
focusing on-
ahead.
exactly.
Yeah, and that's
You
simply,
did predict that.
yeah, and
I
that's
have to say
simply
that.
that's simply what it seemed to be, and which is why when they knocked him down for the 4th time, he was smiling, like he was that kind of smile of, really, now maybe this, like, am I the one on the floor?
Did
He
you see
could-
that video where his spirits left his
His
body after
body-
the first punch
He was-
and got on the flight with his luggage? He
He
didn't even
was-
get up.
He was bad. Even he was laughing that he couldn't believe the situation he found himself in. And look at and let me start this
Are you
from the
crying?
beginning.
Fantastic.
I would say this: the first time I heard about Anthony Joshua, he was already 5 fights in. He had won his first 5 fights, and they were talking about this great boxer that is of Nigerian descent.
Yes.
I think I remember it was one of my colleagues that was bragging so much about him, and I had to go and look at Anthony Joshua, and then I watched his videos, and the first thing I said to this was that this guy had 0 footwork,
Yes.
and he had no guard, no defensive guard, so he never really used to put his hands up.
Yes.
And that was what I saw after 5 fights. But you know, when you fought 5-0, then 7-0, then 9-0, people tend to forget all your weaknesses. And especially when he came up against the Klitschko brother and he survived that, he won that. It's easy for you to forget that this guy has some flaws that he should have taken care of, and it was those flaws that came to the fore in this game. Now you have to understand, beyond Andy Ruiz being overweight or whatever, or what have you, he has a very short reach. Like, did you see his arms?
Yes,
they
were short.
they're my arm size, and I'm 5'3".
Compared to,
So compared to
Joshua.
Anthony Joshua, he shouldn't be having that easy reach to Anthony Joshua. I understand that his hands are quick,
Yes.
but he shouldn't be having that reach. And throughout the
Okay, sorry.
and throughout the fight, Anthony Joshua's corner just kept shouting, "Guards up!" So just put your guards up and then jab. He did not jab. He did not put his guards up, and because it was open.
I noticed something, Tega. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like his footwork was problematic. But it seemed like he didn't have as much support.
But that's what I said. That footwork problem did not start today.
Perhaps he had an injury.
No. It's always been there from his fight, because when I saw him 5 fights in before he even became this big world champion we're talking about. Yeah. He had no footwork. So, I mean, the first time I saw Anthony Joshua, the first thing I noticed was that he had no footwork. Okay. So it's something that he was working on as he went on. So you not seeing it now is not a function of it disappearing. It's something that has always been a flaw from the start. But like I said, when you keep winning, people tend to forget those flaws. Yeah. But Ruiz kind of brought that out. And I think when Anthony Joshua knocked him out in the third round, and his corner kept saying that he should move in, like finish him up. He was there dancing around. He was in his ankle.
He
underestimated Ruiz. Yeah. There is no way, because you kept looking at and you kept, if you kept watching Anthony Joshua after the fight, it was like he was in shock. He was shaken by the fact that he had just lost to this guy.
Whatever he ate before that match, I don't think the bar was well done.
Yeah, that's even what the problem is, that he ate a bar.
And then no. The problem was that he took a picture with Drake. Because he took a picture with Drake.
Let me not say what I think the problem is.
The dude had the nerve to say, "I'm about to break the curse." So you know that there's a curse. Even the Bible says, "Flee from all appearance of evil." And it was Sunday. You now went to stand with the evil.
I have a
perhaps a message from diaspora.
I was going to say, wow, they will revoke your citizenship.
I'm sorry, I said diaspora. It's a word. You look it up. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more stories and your messages on JJ.
I don't think it's like Mabika, because they've been going since.
I'm begging. No, it's the one that she announced. Let me tell you why it was so annoying, because Nigerians really kicked against it. So our head was not with Anthony Joshua. No. She caused the whole nation to rise up against her.
No. The other time they went to, they kicked against it. They sent a whole crowd
for Anthony Joshua.
Oh yes. Then they opened the viewing center in Shagamu. Oga.
The people. The first one we're taking on the words. So this makes some people are crying. They are prepared for.
I was like,
my children are hungry. Are sending us to go and watch Anthony Joshua.
Wait. Governors went. I was like, what is that their state? Like what's happening there?
So just excuse to use state funds.
But Anthony Joshua couldn't believe it. No, we read like 4 or 5.
I saw you did more stories.
Yeah,
no,
we still have more stories because of the drama. Because there's too much dramatic story than Neymar and the rape incident and Serena and Dominic team.
And of course Liverpool and Tottenham.
That's no drama. That was boring.
That's the drama.
That's boring. I think
you see the one that I was talking about wasn't Ruiz. It was the footballer, the Arsenal footballer.
Oh, Reyes. Oh, that's a different person. You pronounce it.
No, I was like, when I said, his name is Andy. I said, boy, it's Antonio. I was saying it's Antonio.
Oh, it's Reyes. Antonio Reyes. God.
If I'd gone to disgrace myself.
No, I thought you were talking about the boxer.
No, that's what I was showing it to you. That who is this person? And I was saying,
no, you didn't show it to me. You just
but I was saying his full name. I said Antonio, and you're like, that's Antonio. I said, yes, it's Antonio. I said Jose Antonio. You said no, it's Ruiz. And you're like, when you Ruiz, if you say na Ruiz, I take it as Ruiz.
Oh, okay, that's the only name I remember.
Ruiz Joshua.
I won't ruin that. There's only that they beat him like somebody that stole phone at Computer Village.
They really beat him 4 times.
They beat him, because the second time, the first one that he fell in round 3, it wasn't a big deal. Which is why he recovered. 4th round, 5th round. I expected him that he should have knocked Ruiz out in that 4th round. Yeah. But the one that they caught him in the 7th round, in fact, the second time he fell, that he said he couldn't stand up again, that he was like, he stood up and he was like, let's just call off the fight. That was not the damage. The damage was done the first time they knocked him, because the guy had a couple of fights and Anthony Joshua's head was here. Like, yes, pound me. He brought his head down.
They were doing him in the village. Well, thanks to you guys on YouTube. We see your comments. Honestly, YouTube fam, they are just amazing. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you guys so much.
So please trust me, it was bad. So we read a few messages, but we still have a lot of drama. And time me, I shouldn't take more than 3 minutes on each drama.
All right, cool.
On each drama.
Sweltering heat, crowd, people. I guess it's the beach. your friends, your family, Lagos is home. Lagos is Bully and Ekpa and Brood. Lagos is being able to leave your
Really?
house and go
Oh my
That Lagos is
gosh.
what I'm road.
No,
Lagos
it's messages.
Sorry
Studio,
for the
mics are up.
and
Sorry.
writer. This is my Lagos.
And Lagos is bubbling with the aftermath of the AJ fight and Ruiz. In this message, actually on WhatsApp here for the locker room 981 Smooth Breakfast, Emmanuel from Akoka sent in this message. I do not blame Joshua for losing. I blame all the Nigerian delegates that went for the match. They carried their own bad luck there that we're all dealing with to meet on our only pride. Now going to the gym would look like useless work because beer belly beat six pack
As
and
in,
abs.
he should be
Wow.
an ambassador for Bear Belly, honestly.
For Ruiz.
Yeah, he is, yes. Ugo from VI says if the UCL final, okay, we're going to go to the UCL final very shortly, but he said if it was boring to you, then qualify your own team and play your own. Number six times.
All right, thank you, Ugo.
You see,
And
final
Jure
and
from
I
the
saw
Shaga says,
trend.
Joshua. Something about that match didn't seem right. Not to take anything from Ruiz. Congratulations to him, but come on, that match looked like Joshua sold it. Looked like he was boxing according to a script, like it was fixed. Watched the fight like 4 times. It's like there's something in Joshua's camp that they are not telling us. There's a fight I was annoyed. Was the fight I was annoyed by was even made in the first place because I thought it was an easy win for Joshua. But congratulations to Ruiz, waiting for a rematch.
All right, let's Nathan Joku from QQ Town. He's still on Champions League. We'll talk about that later. But let's go on to YouTube.
Idris.
We have a fantastic family there. Idris Abiodun says, good morning, Ayo. Did you switch places with Val because of the punches? Well, Val, you take the AJ this morning. Congratulations to my darling Liverpool. We are European champions. No, this is how we do it every week,
Yes,
Idris.
exactly. And Ibrahim Hassan says AJ underestimated Andy Ruiz. He had an injury before the match that could have made him postpone it, but as sure as he was, he said, "Nah, Ruiz." Okay.
That's it. That's pretty
Then
much
Chooks
what
has
he
a
said.
question for you, Tega. He says, Tega, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you honestly, because that's how he spelt it, think that match wasn't a racket? All right, let's move on to some more stories. Dominic Thiem accuses Serena Williams of showing bad personality in press room. Wow. Now, Dominic Thiem says Serena Williams showed a bad personality after he was told to end the French Open news conference to make way for her. A tournament official told the Australian fourth seed to leave the room while he was speaking to reporters on Saturday. Now, Thiem said this: every player has to wait. It shows a bad personality, in my opinion. I wasn't angry or frustrated, maybe for a couple of minutes or so. It's just the principle, he said. It doesn't matter if it's me or who sits in there, even if a junior is in there. I am 100% sure Roger Federer or Rafael Nadal would never do something like that.
First of all, that's a fat lie from the pit of hell. It's obviously not seeing Roger Federer upset. And then even Roger Federer was like, "Oh, it seems like a joke to me, but it's ridiculous." Firstly, it was not Serena's fault.
Yeah.
Again,
So what happened? Sorry,
it has to come down to the way it was reported. So now Serena finishes her fight. She lost her match to Sophia Kenin of USA 2. And then she comes out and you have to do your press conference. And she says she wants to do a press conference. And then she looks up, because on the monitors, they tell you which press conference is happening where, so that if you want to cover, you know what to cover. And then they look up and there's room 2 press conference is over. And Serena was like, I want to have my press conference now, even if I have to use the smaller room, even if I have to use room 2. But again, Serena is the bigger player. So the press that was following Serena would not fit into the smaller press conference room. It was that simple. Yeah. And so the tournament and Dominic Thiem was using the main press conference room, which is the bigger one, obviously. So the because Serena wanted to do the press conference immediately, and she was like, we can use the smaller one. The tournament organizers were like, the press that is following you will not fit in there. So we are going to use the main one, which is why they went to meet Dominic Thiem and told him that he had to wrap up his conference and take it to the room, smaller one, and that was what happened. So Dominic Thiem did not say anything. He actually stood up and left the room to go and take his press conference in room 2. Maybe he thought something else was happening or something. It was when he walked out and saw that it was Serena that they were chasing him out for that he got upset. Please, Dominic Thiem, you are a fly on the wall in this particular matter. And this was not about gender. So when people started reporting it, they started making it look like it was a question of gender, like feminism has won. And it wasn't about that. It was about the bigger name player. Yeah. The bigger name player with the bigger crowd needed the bigger room, and the organizers decided to put her there. Serena Serena did not even, in fact, when they said they had to move Dominic Thiem for her, Serena was like, well, that's a bit rude. That's what she said. And then Dominic Thiem now comes out and starts abusing her, that she should have waited for him.
What?
Da, da,
So
da,
she
da, da,
shouldn't
da.
have spoken?
In what planet are we? I mean, we're talking about people that make tournaments here.
Yes.
It's not you, Dominic Thiem. And the reason why he called Serena in the same sentence with Roger Federer and Nadal, because those are the only people that are in the same category with her. So I understand him being upset, but he should have taken out his anger on the organizers, not on Serena. And it's the French Open, and is Guy Foyet, who is the tournament director, and they're not going to come out and speak up in Serena's defense. They already have a problem with Serena. They had a problem with her before her cat suit. They had a problem with her with her dressing. So they're not going to come out and defend her. But at the end of the day, people have now started making it look like it was Serena's fault. And Serena had nothing to do with it. It was the organizers that decided for our big name players, even if she's out of the tournament, she gets the bigger room. And that's it. So Dominic Thiem should go and cry a river. Or better still, he should channel his anger and win a couple of Grand Slams. Maybe we'll start giving him preferential treatment.
Well done, Tega.
Give you a round of applause for that.
Well done. River and Channel. Okay. Jordan Henderson says Liverpool have the hunger to emulate Premier League rivals Manchester City by winning multiple trophies. Liverpool defeated Tottenham 2-0. Liverpool defeated Tottenham 2-0. Just to repeat. In the Champions League final in Madrid on Saturday to win the first trophy of Jurgen Klopp's tenure at the Reds. When he was asked what the next step will be for Liverpool, Henderson says, football moves quickly and we'll do it again and keep wanting more. To show that desire to keep wanting to improve and want more trophies, this is what we have got to do, he said. Before this game, I said, Manchester City does not just win one, but 2 or 3 trophies. That is what we're trying to aim for. And I know in this group we want to do just that. We're young enough to stay together, and hopefully we can do that for a long period of time.
Okay, first of all, Jordan Henderson, Roberto Di Matteo won the Champions League too. Like, as poor as he was, he won the Champions League, and he was booted out next season. So stop bragging. But I would say this. I would say this. I would congratulate Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool.
Yes.
For last season, they got here. They were beaten by a better team. And this season, they got here and they're like, we are going to win this thing, which is probably why they were playing with their handbrakes on. They got that early minute penalty. I think 3 minutes in, Salah had already scored the penalty, and from then on, it was literally a lull to the end of the first half. Second half, I think Tottenham tried to inject a little bit of pace and tried to make it a little bit lively, but still Liverpool was refusing to give up the lead that they had. And then Origi comes in and confirms the victory at 87th minute. Match done. It wasn't pretty, it was boring, but it was necessary. They just wanted to win the trophy. However they did it, whatever they did with the song and dance was of no consequence. So congratulations to them. For Jurgen Klopp, this is not his first time he's been here. He went to the finals with Dortmund, lost. Went to the finals first time with Liverpool, lost. I mean, he didn't kill Jesus. The least he can do is at least win one of the finals he's gone to, and he's won it. So congratulations to them. Let's see if they can keep, now that they've won the Champions League again, let's see if they can now push on the home front, which is where they really won the victory.
All right, messages here on YouTube. You can join us by typing Smooth 981 FM in the search box to find us and subscribe. Quadri says on YouTube, Tega always complained of his footwork. That's talking about Anthony Joshua. Teddy Celestine says AJ will bounce back. He will definitely he definitely underestimated Ruiz, and that's true. And moving on to talk Liverpool, and Nathan Njoku sent in this message. It says, talking about getting carried away, we won the Champions League. Club promised us a trophy. All we just needed to do was believe. With John Henry promising to invest huge again in the team for next season. Our aim is to dominate football again, starting with the EPL next season. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you very much, Nathan. We have this one from Ojo. Ojo said, Tega, you said it and you felt it. Joshua did not take that fight serious. Yeah, she mentioned that on Friday.
And Raymaker says, Tega, please, is it true that AJ made not money than Ruiz, or more money than Ruiz from the fight?
Before.
There you go. The answer. I will be back after this break.
Hey guys, it's your Afro girl Kaline, and you are listening to Smooth 98.1.
Everybody gonna party.
Imagine say you perform, enter party, plenty food they go round, but now only small chops reach you, even though you wear shady. Chai, that thing they pay, or you don't pay all your NEPA bill. See, don't
Hey,
you
and we
rich,
had
but
two.
as they
We had
bring
3 more
everybody
stories
life.
of consequence.
Now only you then forget.
Okay, so I'll just mention that Anthony Reyes has passed on
Okay.
before we do the Neymar story. Neymar story is important.
25, so young.
Yeah, very young. Good.
Mm.
That's the thing with football. They seem so old because they've done
They've done so much.
hit the summit of their career. They've retired.
When you start playing at 16,
Yeah.
it's allowed.
No, wow. Yeah, it's true.
Hypo toilet cleaner. Sachet na 39. He dey kill gem for toilet. Affordable and easy to use. Hypo toilet cleaner. He dey kill gem. He dey remove stain for toilet. Affordable and easy to use. We have to put toilet clean. With hypo toilet cleaner. The new Hypo toilet cleaner, available in sachets and bottles. Hypo, go wipe.
Hi, my name is Dakori, and I'm going to tell you about your favorite Milo Ready to Drink. Milo Ready to Drink is made from the natural goodness of milk, malt, and cocoa, and fortified with essential vitamins and minerals, so I can now pack the winning energy of Milo into
I mean, think about it. In the week,
So
this is
Mom,
the
what
first
are you
Champions
waiting
League
for?
that has been
Make sure
overshadowed
your
by
child is
everything
always
else.
ready
Mm.
to drink.
Like, it was so
It
bad.
was so boring.
What?
Milo.
Even 2003 when it was Juventus AC Milan.
Okay.
We need to talk about
Neymar, that's next.
Neymar. But I'll first mention that we lost. Or you can first mention that we lost Antonio Hesuru.
Hmm?
You can just mention it, the headlines, that he died in a car crash. May his soul rest in peace and move on with your life.
Mention it.
Okay.
Studio Max, you're up.
That's my Lagos, where everyone comes to fulfill their dreams.
Lagos, the city of our dreams, and Smooth 91 FM, the smoothest dial on Lagos radio. Back on the locker room where we talk sports. And just to share a bit of a sad story that news broke over the weekend, Tega.
Yes. Some heartbreaking news. Antonio Jose Reyes, most of you remember him from Arsenal and Sevilla and even Real Madrid. He passed on over the weekend in a car crash. So
Very sad at the age of
our
35.
condolences go out to his family and the rest of Spain and La Liga.
All right. So let's go to Brazil now for this story. Police in Brazil are investigating football star Neymar's video disclosure of a woman who has accused him of rape. Now, Neymar was accused in Brazil on Friday of raping a woman in Paris last month. Neymar plays professionally for Paris Saint-Germain. In addressing the accusations in a 7-minute Instagram video on Saturday, Neymar showed private communications between him and the woman that included intimate images of her. The civil police was reported as saying that the Office for the Investigation of Cybercrimes, the RCI, will investigate the alleged video disclosure by the player Neymar. The 110th precinct has already taken steps to assist in this investigation.
Yes. Okay. So here's what happens. A woman comes out and accuses Neymar of rape, and the police starts investigating that. Then Neymar comes out to show a few things that show that both of them had a relationship,
Yes.
an intimate relationship. But here's the problem. In the messages he showed, the message was very intimate and graphic, not for morning radio. And there were also some pictures of the woman. Did she give you permission to show those pictures? No. Those messages that were passed between both of you, it can be under that law. He can go to jail for sharing them for
Private messages.
yeah, private message for about 5 years. So in as much as he came to social media, I will say there's no court. The court of public opinion doesn't count. It's not a legal binding entity. In as much as he came to public to show that he was kind of innocent. Number one, he seems to have broken those privacy laws. Number two, the fact that there is a presence of intimate relationship doesn't necessarily mean that there was an absence of consent. So she may have, I mean, especially in this, when you know that things like spousal rape can happen. So she may have had an intimate relationship with you, but maybe on the day she was like, I not do.
Yeah.
And then you instigated something. So with all of those things, it doesn't prove him innocent. It doesn't prove him guilty. I'm just still saying that he should have given his evidence to the legal channels,
Yes,
let
without
them
having to
sort him out,
disclose it.
and now he's put himself inside more trouble.
Wow.
Social media.
As a headline, just to read this headline, Maurizio Sarri tells Chelsea he wants to leave the club this summer.
Yeah. So those people are saying sorry, ball can go.
He's going.
He's going.
You have it now. Diggy from Kesu sent in this message on YouTube. So Diggy, your name is Ernest Okenwa. Wow. It says, I think AJ went to the United States trying to break the Drake curse, and the curse is unbroken. Tega, you're very correct. He underestimated his opponents. Wilder will want to beat Ruiz in 1 second.
You know, this is so interesting.
He will beat him in 1
to tell
second.
you how
Wilder will knock Ruiz out as soon as the fight starts.
Yeah.
For good
He's
measure.
that kind of guy.
Yes.
No, he's that kind of guy.
like I was just going to say that to show how boring the UEFA Champions League final was, we've only concentrated on Anthony Joshua for most part of the show. People's comments, that is.
All right, let's examine one of the topical stories that we treated earlier inside of Freshly Press 91 next. At the top of the hour for Lagos Talks 91, we'll open up the phone lines for you to call in. Special thanks to Tega for stepping in this morning, as always, to give us the top. And of course, Reza should have to say, I told you so.
Church of Tega. Bring your tithe and offering into the house of Tega.
And catch up with the latest happenings of ladies in sports at LIS International. That's on Twitter. This is Smooth Breakfast.
We're almost there.
Almost.
Oh, guys, thank you so
Thanks
much
for
for being
watching.
a part of the conversation. Before I get into trouble,
That's a good morning.
Oh, you're there? Merci.